How do you repair a leak where the aluminum meets the copper? Today I'm going to show you how to repair these two coils. One is leaking on the aluminum microchannel coil, and one is leaking where the copper and the aluminum connect. And I can't believe it, but both of these outdoor units are leaking almost in the same exact spot. This is a church, so I'm trying to keep them from having to replace these units. So we're going to try to repair them today. You're watching HVAC Tips for Technicians. I'm Tad. This is Taddy Digest. Let's go. When I got out here, both of these systems were actually running in a vacuum. Why? Because this York unit and this York unit, these condensers only have high pressure switches. They don't have low pressure switches, which is crazy. So we've got nitrogen hooked up. You can see I've got one hose hooked to one condenser, one hose hooked to the other. We've got just a little bit of pressure on here, enough for you to see where it's leaking. I got the blue hose hooked up over here, and you can see if I remove this, look at that. That's where the copper and aluminum meet, and it is pouring out. I'm going to remove this so you can see it. Look at that. Look at that. All right. The one behind you right there is leaking right here. See this? Right on the aluminum, not the actual copper or where the copper and aluminum meets. It's on the coil itself. This one might be a little hard to fix. Hopefully we can repair it. We're going to do the aluminum to copper repair first, because I'm sure that's the one you're most curious about and how to fix. Look, this is the brazing rod I'm going to use. It is called ALCOP, A-L-C-O-P, brazing rods, aluminum to copper. I'll put a link in the description. This is the stuff I'm going to be using. Now, let's go ahead and release the nitrogen. And then I'll put it on braze, and we'll go ahead and get started. While I'm waiting on the nitrogen to be released, I'm going to clean this glue off of this line where that rubber piece was. I think it was a piece of rubber, piece of plastic. Get it all nice and shiny, get it cleaned up. If you don't know how to repair a microchannel coil, in the fin section, I will put a link in the description to that video. All right, now I'm going to get the rest of the nitrogen out, and then we're going to start brazing. Get one rod, ALCOP braze rod. Got my oxyacetylene torches. Do kind of a low flame. Now, we're not going to heat the aluminum. We're going to heat the copper. Heat that copper, heat that copper. Heat it on up, heat it on up. We can lay a little right here and just see what happens. It should start to melt. Oh, you see it? It's starting to melt. See that? Oh yeah. Look at that. Starting to draw it in. That's beautiful. Now I'm going to heat up the bottom as well. I'll get it, go ahead and get it all the way around. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. There is no way that is leaking now. There's no way, guys. Look at that. I mean, that's a lot. I don't care what it looks like. I just need this repaired. I mean, this is going to save. I mean, we're looking at two coils right here. I know this one's leak free. Hopefully we're good. We'll put some nitrogen on this one, and then we'll go to the next one. All right, we're going to shut this side off because this goes to the other unit. I've got the blue side opened up. Let's go ahead and open the nitrogen. Look at that, there's 100 PSI. I'll just keep that flowing right there at about 80. Let's go over here, let's check it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. No leaks. Yes. I'm so excited. It's not much pressure at all, but hey, I only had like 15 PSI on there. Let's go ahead and pump it up actually. Let me go ahead and put some real pressure on this. Let's just do the test. $250. All right, let's check it. Look at that, no leaks. For repairing this leak, I'm going to be using the same brazing rod. The Alcop brazing rod should work just fine, and I actually think I've already repaired it, but I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit more to it, and then I'm going to do the same thing I did for the other one, and I'm going to make it to where on the edges or on the end where that copper and aluminum meet, I'm just going to kind of put a little layer there just to make sure that I am leak free, but I'm going to add a little bit more right here. So I'll show you. Okay, there we go. And right here is where the leak was, but I think I've got it fixed. And I'm just gonna layer a little bit of this up. See that? We got a little hole right here. Okay, hole is gone. Now I'm gonna heat up the copper. Again, I don't care how it looks. I just want to repair the leaks. Look at that. Look at that. That's awesome. I think we're good. I really do. Let me just try. Oh, okay, we're good. Yep, doesn't look the greatest, but I think we're leak free. Got the second coil fixed. Take a look, we got nitrogen pressure on the system, about 200 pounds. Take a look at the joint. It does not look the best, but it is fixed. And we just saved this church a lot of money. So I'll give you a close-up look here. No leaks. It looks terrible, but hey, it works. We got a new filter dryer installed. I got my gauges hooked up, already added the factory charge, cut the filter dryer out that was inside, just replaced it with some 3/8 copper because it's easier to get to this one and replace it if we have to in the future. I'm gonna go ahead and charge this one correctly, get all my temperature readings, make sure there's nothing else wrong, and then I'm gonna start working on the repair of the other coil. And you can see inside where we cut that filter dryer out, there's just a piece of copper there now. All right. It's on and it's working. 410A, low side pressure is 139, high side pressure is 352, saturation's 48, saturation's 107. Suction line temperature is 53, woo! And then liquid line temperature is 83. 53 and 83. That's awesome, 30-degree difference. So we are moving some heat. Checking the supply air and return air temperature. Looks like 62 on the supply air. It is 80 degrees on the return air. Got the app pulled up. Selected the refrigerant, TXV, suction pressure, head pressure, suction line temp, liquid line temp, return air supply air temperature, and then outdoor ambient. We got a low superheat, we got a high subcooling. Those two together, probably an overcharge. Temperature split looks okay, 18. Airflow before charge, remember, if you want to run a static pressure check, you can. And then overcharge, too much refrigerant, uh-oh. What did Taddy do? Probably added a little too much, although I just added factory charge. It is a little hot in here, so we do have a little bit of a high load situation. It says, see the condenser coil. If you want to learn, check out the 3D view. If you don't have my app, go check it out, AC Tool Pro. It is sweet. This was the diagnose section, and we're charging in the cooling mode. Now I'm going to cut out the old filter dryer, put a new one in. We got the new one right there. I'll put it right here outside the condenser. We'll charge it up, see if everything works. Putting nitrogen inside the system to make sure we don't have any leaks. You can see brand new filter dryer, and then inside we just got a piece of copper. So we're almost there. I love it. Just finished up with the vacuum. Got the refrigerant on the scales, ready to go. Let's go ahead and clear it out. There we go. Clear it out. How much refrigerant does it hold? 5 pounds, 8 ounces, just like the other unit. It's a 5-ton YCJD 60,000 BTU. W1E37 1 and 3 2013 model. Yes, sir. All right, we're adding liquid in through the liquid line. 7 ounces, 8 ounces, 9 ounces. Factory charged, 5 pounds, 8 ounces. Perfect. Remember to add the additional refrigerant for your line sets though. But this is all I'm going to add starting out and just see what it looks like. Now to flip on the breaker. Look at that. Both of the units are back up and running and I am so happy. Let's take a look at the gauges. 410A. See what we got. Low side pressure 130. Saturation 45. Whoa, what just happened? Uh-oh, looks like I didn't charge my gauges. So 130 and 45, 350 and 107. 350 and 107. Suction line temperature is 48. Whoa. And then liquid line temperature is 89. Wow, all right, let's go check temperature split. Return air temperature was 77. Supply air temperature is 60.2. Now I'm gonna go to the app. All right, 410A, cooling. There's the pressures, line temperatures, return supply for the temp split, outdoor ambient, and then look, 2 degrees of superheat and 18 degrees of subcooling. Superheat's low, subcooling's high. Temp split is okay. Airflow before charge, overcharge. Super happy that we were able to repair both leaking microchannel coils. We were able to repair where the copper meets the aluminum, able to repair where we were on the aluminum manifold for that other microchannel coil, which was much harder and you had to really dial in on the technique. But with the right brazing rod and the right technique, you can easily repair a microchannel coil. Also, the customer values our relationship now even more. Why? Because I showed them I'm willing to repair that unit instead of replacing it. I saved them over $10,000. They love that, and I love that as well because I bought them a few more years. Hopefully these units will last a lot longer, and then when they get ready to replace, I know who they're going to go with. So that's exciting. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. If you did learn something, let me know what it was down in the comments. You got a question? Remember, questions can lead to new content. So put your questions down below. But if you don't have a question, let me know who you are and let me know where you're from. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, smash that bell, ding, so you know what I'm doing. You've been watching HVAC Tips for Technicians. I'm Tad. This was Taddy Digest, and I'll keep you cool if you let me.